Hello, beautiful soul. I have received some very powerful messages from spirit guides for us, and four messages especially. And before I start to tell you that those messages, I want to invite you to follow my, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, go to the link in my bio and get into my psychic guidance session. My 3 months of mentorship is there, my journaling course is there, my ebook is there. So you have all these support from me, and my magic paintings, and you can also donate for my rent, food, and bills as well. For some reason, the electricity went off. I don't know. Anyway, so the first message that I'm receiving is this is something that I read in the book called The Artist's Way, and it is about you have to not care about the quality, when it comes to your art. As in, because great creator, you can call great creator as God, as source, as Allah, as Jesus, as Mother Earth, as gods and goddesses of creativity. Like, you take care of the quality, I take care of the quantity. Meaning, I am gonna show up and keep acting on my inspirations, but quality is your responsibility, the quality of the work and the skills. And I wrote it on and put it on the wall that great creator, quality, and my skills are your responsibility. My responsibility is showing up. So when I started my business, I didn't knew nothing about business, branding, or what this field is about. I didn't know how to speak. I didn't know what to speak about. I didn't know anything about business, marketing, making YouTube videos, or even my skills, how to talk, how to communicate, how to articulate certain sentences, and not even the topics. I didn't, and to this point, I do feel something is being building up, but still it's so much of it is very unknown. Everything it is unknown, but it is exciting, it is exciting. And you gotta trust, no, okay, you're like, how am I gonna write? I don't know what I'm gonna write about. I don't know what I'm gonna paint. I don't know what songs I'm gonna write. It's not your responsibility to know. You just show up, you act on your inspiration, and you do it again and again and again. And you trust. Because acting on your creative inspirations is always a good idea. Acting on your creative inspirations is your calling. Acting on your creative inspirations lead you to healing, lead you to transformation, lead you to wealth, lead you to your lover. It leads you to the life of freedom. It leads you to building generational wealth, creating deep DNA healing. It's what creative inspirations does. It's so powerful, following your creative inspiration. So if you're feeling inspired by God to do something, do it, and without any fear of not knowing, because you will know, you will learn. And it's not even about you learning, it's source itself acting through you, gods and goddesses itself creating through you. You have heard, either you might have heard it from me in my previous videos, through my previous videos, or from other videos. Like, so many times authors say, we didn't know how this story came along. Or
bring magic in your life with my magic paintings. This painting says, dearest God, dearest Mother, thank you for guiding me. Thank you for leading my way. when you live around this painting, the way you start to move in this world very bravely, confidently, courageously, you would find yourself becoming most braver, bolder, confident version of yourself, and it's just so much divine guidance and peaceful energies into your life. Super powerful. Super, super. You can't miss the magic. You can't. I'm telling you, you cannot. Okay. Also, you can hire me and I will channel a customized magic painting uniquely for you. A painting that will bring lot of success, high vibrations, good energies, power, love, and like sacred, peaceful, pure energies into your life. It's so powerful, and
or this character was created. It was just like I was writing and suddenly I had this idea and the story and I wrote it. Singers, a lot of the time, artists and performers, when they go on stage, they're like, we didn't know how we did that, but it just happened because the source itself, we just are an instrument. We just are an instrument, and knowing this, when you fully integrate this wisdom inside of you, that you are just an instrument, you will stop taking yourself so seriously. And then you will act. You will find yourself acting on those creative inspirations, because when we take ourselves too seriously, we become very rigid and critical. We gotta learn to have fun with our own selves, and not take what is being created to, like, not be critical and harsh of it. Sometimes, and also understanding this, not taking yourself too seriously, and I mean, it's keeping the balance. Yes, take yourself and your creativity so seriously that you are disciplined around it. You are disciplined around showing up, but not too critical of what is being created through you. That's what I meant, not to take yourself seriously, because, like, when you create something and you're being too critical, then your inner child will get afraid and it will not act on another creative inspiration. So you gotta be lighter, and you will witness, then you will be acting more and more on your creative inspiration. And there was something so important came, and it came, and it just came, and it just flew away, and I'm just trying to catch it back. What was that? It was something so beautiful, and it was just like something so golden that was coming, like that just came, and it just disappeared. Like, it just came and it just, like, left. Oh god. No, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back to me right now. Okay, it will come. I don't like when this happens. I wanted to share that, whatever that was. It's just like, God. Spirit, send it back to me, okay? Send it back to me right now. It's gonna come back. Let me just talk about other stuff right now. So, a lot of the times, artists don't know, because they are just the channel. We are all just the channel to be poured through. Okay? So, when you are creating something, don't get too critical of it, because it's not you who created it. It's not us who created it. And oh yes, see, I told you it's gonna come back, and it came back. It's about when you understand that, okay, I am just the source. What is being created through me is not actually my responsibility. It's the responsibility of the higher power, because you gave it to it, right? You said, you said it, like, great creator, I'm gonna show up The quantity is my responsibility, quality is yours, right? So when you told it, when you gave that responsibility to God, to source, to gods and goddesses of creativity, now you are just creating. So what is being created? You're not being too critical and judgy of it, or not being too attached of it. That way you will be sharing, you will be sharing your art and whatever is being created, your ideas, to the world more. And also see how so many times what we judge as imperfect has lot of impact. The art which is not actually perfect has an impact, you know. And that's why you will see a lot of the paintings and you will be like, what is this, I could have done that. Because they look so like imperfect, but like imperfection, imperfect art. And like sometimes when you are beginning to create something, it's like it will have power. That's why you gotta put your art, you gotta put your work out there. Even if you yourself are judging it imperfectly, you still gotta show up, because you don't know who will be impacted by your imperfect art, like the art that you are calling imperfect. So many times when I'm making this video, I'm like, you know, I am not like that good, I'm not talking in a well manner, I'm not like the wisdom that I'm sharing, like, you know, it's just like my critical mind can be very loud, but I still choose to put it out there. You know why? Because I personally have been impacted by work and the art that was created by beginners, you know, like they call themselves beginners, or they call their work very imperfect, but I was so deeply impacted and moved by it. But so you gotta, you know, it's like generosity. When you share yourself with the world, share your story, share your creativity, share your deep, you know, feelings, okay, and the work, whatever work it is, you know, whatever, however, it could be art, it could be painting, it could be writing, and you could be judging it as very childish or not perfect. You still, when you share it, it's very generous. Actually, you gotta put it out there, put your all your work out there. People, and more than you know, people are actually impacted by the work, they're actually impacted by your journey, you know. So that's why they say when you are selling your art, people want to learn about the background, the story behind it. So be uh, yeah, be generous, and you will become very generous, and you will generously share yourself and your work, your art with the world, when you are not being too critical of yourself and your work. And what do we how do I say it, the critic the the critical, the self criticism, it is ingrained in you, because no child, when they are born, they will criticize themselves. They think that they are cool. Children will think that, oh, I'm so cool. They'll shake their ass, they will do the, you know, and then they will do something outstanding that will make us laugh, because it has so much power when we are not being critical. But the critical, to be critical is being taught. Our environment teaches us, our society teaches us to, we are told to be conditioned, we are conditioned to be behaving, you know. And it's not like that we don't need to learn how to behave, but it needed to be taught in a right manner. We needed to be taught empathy, okay. But what we are actually taught is suppression, you know, or what we have learned from our environment is actually suppression of our genuine feelings, suppression of what is genuinely wanting to be come out from us. And we try to stop it, and we and when you stop that, you actually uh, you actually are not only stopping your growth but also the growth of this world. Really, so many. And as in when you put yourself in that field, like you could be like, okay, I'm gonna make music, I'm gonna write books, I'm gonna make videos, whatever you're gonna be choosing to do. It's like through you, that spirit, that life force energy, that life giving energy, it knows what is happening in the environment, it knows what is happening in your culture, in your in this world, or the people who are going to be witnessing you. It knows that. So the art that is going to be inspired through you, the wisdom, the book, the music, the anything that you're going to be building, it is gonna act as a healing medicine. Okay, it's naturally that's why artists became source for the medicine, for the connection. It's like somebody will make music in like different part of the world, and that music reaches to some other soul who was so sad and lonely, and suddenly they heard this music that was created by somebody who might not even be alive right now. Artist becomes the source of connection, of safety. Because when you are, what people genuinely are looking for is to be expressing themselves. The real threat is suppression, the suppression of emotion and feelings, right? And the people want to express themselves. So when they are not able to express themselves, and then they see you expressing yourself, it does something to them, it moves them, it shows them subconsciously they are just becoming aware of the possibility of them expressing themselves, them believing in something different. Because as an artist, you like, if you want to be an artist who is like living in their calling, that means you will have to teach yourself abundance. You will have to be open to receiving the generous amounts of support from this world, from God itself, from people itself. You will have to teach yourself to be able to receive, to feel safe in your body, to receive love, support from the world, from the people, epic generosity from God. So yeah, so if you want to exist and thrive as an artist, you have to teach yourself that. And one of the thing which is also the second message is that if God gave you gift, God also will give you the people who are meant to. God will bring the people who are meant to receive that gift from you. So that we feel like, okay, we say so many books have already been written on this topic, so many people already have the shop that I want to open of jewelry, of clothes, or so many people already have the written the songs on love. So many people are already like making cooking food. So many people have already created a course on something that I want to create a course on, and all of that. As an artist, you will understand, like like, okay, there is you gotta learn this, or embody this knowing, and keep it like literally, like have your bones and blood and your psyche be ingrain this wisdom in your psyche, that if God has given you gift, it's because God is also bring you the people that are meant to receive that gift or that creative creation, and they are meant to receive it through you, through you. So many times I would watch videos on people talking about same thing, okay, but it is only that particular person that I'm meant to receive that wisdom from. I will stop at their video and listen, because I was meant to. That was written by great creator, you know. So put your art out there, put your art out there, and quality is not your responsibility. It is not. And in the journey, when you know, when you are like, okay, quality is not my responsibility, so in the journey you will make mistake and you will find compassion, because you know God, I already told you that God, you will move me. You are the CEO of my business. You are the one who is the responsible for the quality. So even if in the journey I made some mistake, I acted out of integrity, it is your responsibility, you know. And then you will find the compassion. Like in my journey, when I was learning to make money, you know, because I didn't know, and then I did made some mistakes, you know, maybe asking people for money that I shouldn't have asked, you know, my friends and all, and thinking like that way could work, or like just asking for leaving comments on people's pictures and all of that, like, hey, I need money, can you. But then I learned that that does not work. But like, you know, I was in deep guilt. I was in deep guilt. Why did I do that? And then God gave me the compassion and showed me the way. Like in the journey you will do things that, and you will figure out, okay, this does not work. You will get the clarity, okay, this is the way I never want to go, and I won't go, okay, by doing that thing. My video got cut, but what I was saying was that I was feeling intense guilt and shame for all the mistakes that I made in the journey. When I look back, I'm like, okay, I should not have done that. You know, so all these things that I feel like I shouldn't have done, there is like shame that I feel. But God, like, actually guided me, showed me the purpose of why even making those mistakes in the process was necessary, you know. Yeah, the second message, so yeah, understanding. First message was that quality is the responsibility of the God, of the source. Quantity is yours, meaning show up, okay, and tell God, literally tell God that, God, quality is your responsibility, I'm just showing up. And that way you're gonna be more lighter. You'll be able to be, you know, share your art more without criticizing it so much. You will also like embody this knowing that if God gave you the gift, God will also bring the people who are meant to receive that gift from you, okay. So putting your imperfect, the work that you are judging as imperfect, you know, sometimes, you know, the shopkeeper, the vegetable shopkeeper, brings apples and bananas, but the shopkeeper himself does not like apples at all, okay, but he still keeps the apple because he know that you know, other people will love apple. So just because you're not liking something that you created does not mean that you should not put it out there. You should definitely put it out there, because there are people who want the exact same thing in the exact manner it is, exactly in the exact manner, okay. So yeah, the third message was, oh my god, I am like forgetting the third message. Spirit, I'm gonna count till 15. If you give it to me, good. If you don't, then I'll end this video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so the message that I'm receiving right now to talk about, it's not the one that the last two, that I was meant to share. I've completely forgotten about them. It's about knowing your value and treating yourself that way. And like you can understand, okay, if I had a child, if I had a son, or if I had a daughter, would I what would I tell them to do? Would I let, like, if I knew, so suppose if I had a daughter and I know, and she's exactly behaving like me, like she's, I know her heart, her habits and all, would I let her entertain men who are not in their integrity? No, I would tell her no. Set a strong boundary, no. So like asking yourself, how would you want your, if you had a child supposedly, and they're in the exact same position as you, and you are fully aware, and you know your heart, your habits, what goes inside your head, and what you value, like what you're doing in your life, in when no one's watching what you're doing, you are aware about everything, and your child is doing the exact same thing, they're in the exact same position, what would you suggest them? you know yeah. And there is something that is coming up, like telling God, there is something, just give me a moment, that's want to be like, I don't know, maybe this message will only come out tomorrow or sometime, some other time. I cannot think of anything right now. Like that message is coming in half. Okay, another message is like it's the first message that I gave, it's the continuation of that. That when you choose your art, it's like in the dreams you will receive certain activations, like Harry Potter. The Harry was born, she had a dream about it, this character. And personally, me, every day, even me doing this, I was like, when I was sleeping, I was getting prepared to, like, make a bow like this and wear this outfit, and just like so many ways, other stuff. uh, and even like through the air you will start to receive the inspirations and all of that. Yeah. Sometimes God will send you somebody to help you, but your fears will even stop you from trusting the help that God sent your way. And so, what do you want to teach us through this message, God? Like, why did you just suddenly spoke that? Because our fears are definitely valid. If we are afraid that, okay, if I wore something that I really like and some man doesn't like it, they might attack me. That's a valid fear. Or like, oh my God, if I chose to go towards relationship and I chose a partner that later on turned out to be so toxic, that's a valid fear to have. So, how do we know, God, that when you are sending help, we have to trust it? How do we know that? I just heard there will be signs. Wow, I am hearing right now about Alchemist, the book Alchemist, in which they said that l- there are always signs, and l- become good at learning about signs. You know, these signs, how God communicates to you, how you know that your loved ones are around, feathers, rainbows, butterflies, and just like flowers, and you will come to understand the more you spend time with yourself, you know, developing this relationship with God, with your psychic abilities, you will. And journaling, it's a powerful, oh my god, journaling is a very powerful tool that will connect you to your psychic abilities, creative abilities, and you will also come to understand when source is speaking to you. You will, you know. Wow. You know, another thing that I'm receiving right now is that what we are afraid of actually quitting. So, for example, okay, what if I fell in love and I get betrayed? So, it's not that the betrayal is your fear. The fear is that I will get betrayed and then I will never love again. I will never open myself to love again. That's the real fear. It's not the failure that you are afraid of. Like, okay, what if I go to this dance competition and do this amazing dance and I get failed? That is not the real fear. The real fear is that, oh my god, if I go to that competition and those judges told me, oh, we are not taking you in because we don't think this is good and all, and because I will get rejected from them, then I would stop dancing, then I would stop sharing my dance with others. That's the real fear. Or what if I start my own business and it does not work? Then I would stop. It's not that failure is not the fear. The fear is that I will stop believing in something that I am, the value that I am providing. I will start to doubt the value of my gift, and hence I will never share it. We want to live generously, you guys. When you see somewhere that something is being given generously, it calms your body, right? It calms your body, really. So when you share, when you live generously, it keeps you calm, it keeps you very light in your body. But the moment we stop sharing, it doesn't feel good. It restricts. So we want to share our art with the world. So what is stopping us? Imperfection, people not liking, people not. Don't let it come in your way, guys. Don't. Do not. And tell God, tell God, okay, yeah, this was what was coming, that I thought like, okay, what is coming, what is coming. It's like telling God that, God, you move my body, you move my mind, you move my heart, you are responsible for that. Because sometimes we feel like, okay, we feel like, okay, what if fear becomes so loud that we stop taking action towards that thing. And sometimes, anxiety and the panic in life, something might have happened, or some situation is there that you can't even trust yourself to get out of the bed and take action. So saying this prayer before going to bed or throughout the day, like, God, you move my body, you move my mind, you move my heart. You guys, I felt so weak, so weak when my mother was passing away and I couldn't pay my rent and I didn't know how to get the food, and I didn't had any people that I could actually trust, you know or like somebody who will like actually understand my situation. It was really hard, and I would wake up and say, I would sleep. When I would go to sleep, mosquitoes are biting me, that's why I'm scratching myself here. I would go to sleep. Before going to sleep, I would just be like on my bed that, God, you move my body today, like for the next day. Gods and goddesses of self-love, gods and goddesses of creativity, you move my body, you move my mind, you move my heart. Because I really didn't had any strength or any hope left inside of me. And I was like waking up in panic, But this prayer led me through it. That, God, you move my mind, you move my body, you move my heart. And God did, and it's been like 4 5 months of my mom passing away, and like my rent is due of 4 5 months that I have to pay, and I just received the money for food. But like this situation, even me consistently showing up, because when you see that rent is piling up and all of that, it can be very panicky, especially when you have never made that amount of money in one go. you know it can actually make you want to quit. But like, God, like, I'm like, God, I want to see this situation as you see it. I want to handle this situation as you would handle it. I want to treat this situation as you would treat it. So that's why I'm like, or like, God, I want to treat myself as you would treat me. I want to look at myself as you would look at me. I want to treat myself as you would treat me. Because all these situations can make us really doubt ourselves, make us really unkind kind to ourselves, or make us feel like we are weak, and we start to see ourselves in a very weak manner. So saying like, God, I want to look at myself as you look at me. God, I want to treat myself as you would treat me. Or like, if there are any other situation outside, saying like, God, I want to see this situation as you see it. I want to treat this situation as you would treat it. I want to handle this situation as you would handle it. So I'm like, God, like, you handle it. And that's like moving me. God's really moving me. If it ever occurred to you, how is Jyoti showing up consistently? How is she handling? God is doing it through me. God's moving me. Yeah. Link of everything is in my bio. My one-on-one sessions, psychic guidance session, my mentorship, my journaling course, my ebook. It has powerful verses, affirmations, and prayers. And you can also donate for my rent, for my food, for my, other bills, electricity, phone, etc. And just for me to take care of myself better. Uh, I also want to mention that regardless of this situation, God, always fed me. I always have a roof over my head. I slept safely. God really did took care of me so well and gave me the right attitude to navigate everything. And Mother Earth, my connection with Mother Earth, with sun, the moon, the stars, the trees, it's and yeah, just river bodies, they have supported me a lot. And recently, the spirit of calmness, the spirit of privacy, the spirit of ease, the spirit of love, the spirit of joy, the spirit of play, the spirit of dance, the spirit of best case scenario, gods and goddesses of self love, gods and goddesses of creativity, gods and goddesses of money, health, wealth, and prosperity. They have been moving me so much, and bringing all of this energy. Get my ebook, Energetic Activation for Brand New Life. It is so powerful, really. When you go through the affirmations, verses, and prayers in that book, it will activate brand new energies into your life. Okay, I'll see you in another video. My mommy got me ready today. It's all my mom's, my mother's sari, my mother's extra cloths that I made bow from. And I also make customized bow. So just send me the color and I will make a bow for you and send it to you. And if you are getting married, I can just also make a, something like this that you get to wear like this, with a big bow, and you can just tell me the color, and we can make it shorter from the back, or we can make this veil bigger as well. So yeah, that'd be very beautiful thing.